Rick, one of the conversations that came up here at the ACT meeting in St. Louis, which was held in conjunction with Brandcamp and
Right.
Augie, was the concept of personal branding, which sounds like this mythical, kind of theoretical, strange concept. But it's interesting to me how, we have all this technical stuff, we have all these ACT issues, technology, Accord standards, all these things, but it always comes down to people like talking to other people.
Relationships.
Yeah, and so we wanted to address that at this meeting because sometimes we forget the power of that personal delivery of these sometimes technical topics. So what are some things you heard here at the meeting about that topic?
Well, we all have a personal brand, whether we do anything about it or strengthen it or work on it or not. In fact, if you don't do anything, you get branded, right? I mean, if you didn't, and tying that back to social media. So if you didn't have a presence in social media and someone out there was looking for you, that would say something about your brand.
Yeah.
So whether you want to or not, it's there. And I think the real issue is that and to paraphrase something that Tom Peters said, who's an author and a consultant and a business guru, he basically said that we have a responsibility to manage our a company called me.
Yeah,
you
right.
know?
Yeah.
And to that end, I think that well, and as it tied into ACT and the Augie meeting and Brandcamp even, the reason personal brand becomes so important is that the more credible you are, the more trustworthy you become, the more honest you are, more transparent you are, the more credibility you do have when you advocate for something. So if I've got a lot of people that have been following me and I'm engaged with them and I've built that relationship, when I say, hey, you guys, you really should pay attention to this, it's more likely that they will.
Yeah, that's right.
So.
The other thing, a couple more points. I really think, I just love Simon Sinek, the author of this book
Right.
called Start With Why, and he does a lot of TED Talks about this concept of why. People don't buy what you do or even how you do it. They really want to buy the why. Why do you care? So if you're talking with a carrier, for example, about the need to implement real time for a certain transaction, or you're talking with an agent group about the need for why claims download is important, or whatever
Right.
the topic is, you have to come into it with that passion. You have to start out with not what your title is, but why you love what you do. And,
Right.
and the amazing thing about this ACT community, along with Augie and Accord and of course the Brandcamp folks, is they have passion.
Right.
They are great ambassadors for this, and they talk about why they love what they do. But sometimes they get too, in my opinion, sometimes they're in the weeds too much on the stuff.
Well, but if they have that passion, so the idea
Right.
of personal branding is if they have that passion and nobody knows about it, what good does it do?
That's right.
So
You need both. Yeah.
Well, but
Yeah.
my point is that take that passion and demonstrate it on Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and connect with a community, build that community and strengthen that community, and then when they do talk about some of these issues, that community is listening to them. If you're just a crackpot or a nut somewhere out there, you're not going to have any credibility.
Right.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
so part of the key is to and people had issues with separating the personal with the
corporate,
with the
where they
business.
work, yeah.
Yeah, and actually, as you said early in the beginning, it's all about that relationship, knowing that person. So I think we came to a consensus, if you will, that it's perfectly okay to blur that line. In other words, to share personal experiences, to be human, to be transparent, to be open, and your business community is okay with that, and your personal community, your family, is okay knowing a little bit about who you are in the business world. That's collectively, that's who you are.
Right.
And so build on that, strengthen it, work on it. Your personal
It's
brand.
easier anyway.
Yeah, exactly. You're not trying to make.
You're not trying to be somebody wearing a tie in one picture and then yourself on Facebook, and people struggle with that. I think
They do.
sometimes they overthink this. Here's myself, and over here is my professional self,
Right.
and they get conflicted.
Yeah.
It's like if you're at a cocktail party, you meet somebody who's, here's my business card, it's like, oh, get away from me. They make the same mistakes in social media, but the people who are warm and engaging, and this is like just a big chamber of commerce online where they're kind of interacting with people. But last question, let me get back to really what the people that come to these meetings, what they really care about, and they care about change and improving the independent agent system, making it more efficient.
Right.
And so as they go out and advocate, I think they should start out with, first of all, why they're there, what they love about the industry, what they're trying to protect, the legacy they want, and then get into the technical things they're there to talk about. I think they should lead with that, because that's what people, again, they like, why? Why are you selling me this stuff?
Yeah, and probably what'll happen, it won't be so technical. In other words, it's what that technology enables. Mm-hmm. It's a process or a concept that or a plan or a practice that makes life better for people, and that tends to be what the why is. And it's cool that we have this technology over that's enabling that, but focus on the business need, the why.
Yeah, it is about the people.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Rick.
You bet.
Yeah.